interesting thing, I think, about that repetition lever is that the hammer will rise after I release it from the back check. Only if I release it slowly. If I release it quickly, and I can tell by just placing the finger, in this case my thumb, over the hammer, or place it quickly, the hammer doesn't rise at all. What's happening is that without the resistance of my finger on the front of the key, it's actually forcing the back of the key down, which also because you can see if you look in there, they're fairly close to each other, but the orientation is all screwed up. And you can prove that, and you may want to mess around with this a little bit. Just wiggle the jack tender a little bit, and you feel the only resistance you feel is the spring, the jack spring. Okay? It isn't until it gets, the orientation gets more direct that you can feel it, and you can feel it a lot. It's another thing about magnets is that with a spring, as you add or as you compress, if you were to graph the compression of the spring on a horizontal axis and the force on the vertical, the compressed force, you'd get a straight line graph. In other words, it's linear, okay? If you do the same thing with magnets, in other words, it's, let me see, that would be the distance between the magnets, if they're oriented properly, the distance between the magnets and the force exerted, it would actually look like this, okay?
Oh, okay.
Small, it rises, the closer they get, it rises exponentially, right? And real fast. So you can feel it, there's a bump. I mean, you can definitely feel when that magnet's engaging if you just wiggle that jack tender. And if you go far enough, it will actually raise the hammer. All right? It's exerting enough force to raise the whole hammer. Now, as you depress the key, again, when you depress the key, the orientation is becoming less advantageous as you get up there. It only is advantageous when it's in check, basically, or close to being in check. The key's depressed, the jack is back, and the hammer's. You know what I mean? They're basically right. They're pretty close to being right in line with each other. So, it's not going to be able to, like in the grand piano, it raised the hammer. It doesn't do that, but what it does is suspend it long enough that in real playing conditions, it will force that jack back underneath the knuckle. So again, in the hands of a skilled player, you can repeat it without, bringing the key all the way back up. And all these little demonstrations are fun, but the proof is in the pudding. And I keep saying in the hands of a skilled player. I mean, all these things are going to come to fruition when someone that really knows how to handle a grand piano action comes over here and says, geez, I can do the same things. Like I said, the best line technically that I can think of is that for anybody that's the least bit technical minded, it simulates the repetition of the grand piano action, which is the defining characteristic of modern grand piano action.
it's your fault, Andrew.
I agree.
All right, go for it.
Oh, try again.
56.
You get the best 1 out of 3.
Thank you.
All right. Ready, go.
I don't think 2 fingers is the way. Is it? Does everyone just use 2 fingers?
Yes.
Try it
It's up to you. Whatever you like to do. No problem. No restrictions.
Wait for the buzzer.
I'm horrible. Did I see somebody had a 140?
Don't worry. Next year, Mike. You need to practice. Have one, please.
One more time. You resetting over there? You reset the counter? Wait.
Okay, go. Relax.
What do you
Take it
get?
easy.
I haven't even done it.
Come on.